Now we're going to move on to comments from council members. First, we have Councilmember Mason. It's a thank you to the city team for releasing a statement that San Bruno stands with the Asian American and Pacific Islander community, united against hate, and then obviously anything else that you want to offer us this evening in a day. Councilmember Mason.
So thank you, Mayor Medina. I just wanted to thank the city team. I was really pleasantly, I don't want to say surprised. I don't think it was a surprise that you guys took on this initiative, but I was really happy to see the statement that the city of San Bruno came out with, stating that they, as a team, really stand behind the Asian American and Pacific Islander community, which makes up so much of our San Bruno community, and how it was aligned with the United Against Hate campaign. So from me, I just wanted to say thank you and really put it on our agenda to solidify that this occurred and that I'm grateful for it, and I have shared it with as many people as I can. So thank you so much.
Did you have any other remarks or comments for this evening?
No, I mentioned her. I actually should have waited for the Easter Bunny part, but then I thought since it's COVID, whoever dressed up as the Easter Bunny and took the Easter Bunny around really kind of put themselves in some kind of risk. So I thought I'd throw it in the COVID part, but thank you.
You're welcome. And I guess the Easter Bunny had more than just a mask on in some ways. So, okay. So the next one is item B for myself. Consider resolution condemning violence, especially against the Asian community. The reason this came up is last month, Councilmember Salazar and I attended a Zoom meeting with the district attorney and the sheriff of San Mateo County, with the San Mateo County API group, to listen and dive into this and to hear from perspectives and what's happening. As well as I met with the General Consul and the Deputy General Consul of Japan. They're located in San Francisco. Had a conversation with them, and this is a topic that we discussed as well. And as we all know, I think at time to time, I can certainly say we proclaim that we stand against hate and this and that, but that comes from me. The council's wish is that it comes from just the mayor at this time. And so I always find it important to solidify, and the resolution is the only mechanism that I'm aware to do it. I can't do my proclamation for all of us, but I think, it's that we condemn the increasing number of hate crimes against the Asian American and Pacific Islanders, including harassment, bullying, and violent acts. And that's just a segment of it. And it's easy enough for staff to come back with something for us, but that's what I've placing out to my colleagues to see if they would wish that to come back in a resolution. Councilmember Hamilton.
I would be supportive of us adopting a resolution for this and would vote yes on it if we did so.
Thank you. Anyone else? Vice Mayor Medina.
No problem. Yes, I'm also in support of this, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Councilmember Mason.
Yeah, thank you first of all, thanks for bringing this to the council. In reviewing this item, I also reviewed the item that was brought up last year, a similar resolution in which we ended up creating a subcommittee, and wherein Michael Salazar is the chair and I'm currently the vice chair. And I think one of the requests that had recently been brought to the council was any suggested topics for that subcommittee to handle. And so in reviewing that meeting, where in fact a majority of the council did not support the resolution supporting I actually had the title in front of me and I just can't find it right now.
All right.
But we had a resolution in which we specifically, I have it right here, hold on one second. It was a possible council resolution affirming the city's commitment to stand in solidarity with the Black community and condemn racism. And so ultimately we did not receive majority council support for that resolution. And the instruction that was given was to create a subcommittee which was created to review the resolutions and resolutions similar to that. So I would recommend at this point that I would actually love to work on this resolution, and I would love to work on the resolution that was brought up last July, in particular as we approach the 1-year anniversary for George Floyd's death. And if we have a majority of the council direct us to, I would actually love to work on it with Chair Salazar and our committee and bring back those resolutions to the council for approval. It would be an honor.
Yeah, and my belief is, again, as my comment was back then, was to broaden it, and that's why we came up with the Heart Committee. And so I think in the resolution, my thought was, commitment to diversity, equality, and inclusion. Obviously, to embody that, and I gave you kind of an example, but it's not just to specify, it is to broaden it as a council standing firm about what we did a few years ago with the Stand Against Hate campaign and signs that we've established. So anyway, other comments from council? Council Member Salazar.
I would just say that I'm with Linda that I would like to see the council sort of give us the green light to move ahead with doing some of these things. We haven't met as a committee in a while. We're an ad hoc committee, so we don't have a regular cadence. But it would be good to get that direction and allow us to move forward on some of these initiatives.
Are you suggesting then that this not be brought back to council, but be brought back to the ad hoc on this particular inclusive resolution, or what do you, just to be specific? Councilmember Salazar.
Well, I wouldn't want to delay it, but I think we've both Linda and I have brought up the our interest in getting the direction from the broader council, from the whole council, to move forward with what we do on the committee. But if this is something that can be done quicker, if staff has something that they can do sooner, then I don't want to get in the way of that, but we do need some direction for our committee and how we're going to move forward with these other things, and perhaps we can revisit what wasn't done last year because we decided to form the committee.
Great point. I know.
So I'm asking for. I guess it's maybe two separate things, but as long as it came up, I'd like to get some direction on that. And I know that we're under council member comments, so maybe asking for that level of direction is not appropriate at this point, but it is something I want to see come back.
Concurred, we can put that on the agenda as far as what you just said. I would hate to delay it too, so my ask is that, or consideration is to have it so it can come back on the April 27th meeting. I think it's something to try to reestablish, to get a committee together to talk about it and to do. I'd like to. This is an important topic. I know, hearing from the General Counsel and hearing from the San Mateo API, and I think it's important for their representatives to know where we stand sooner than later. Councilmember Hamilton.
I would think if the Heart Committee can get everyone together quickly, then this is right. It seems like this is the exact sort of thing why that committee was formed, and we should. I don't think it's inappropriate for us to give that direction, given that what we would be asking the Heart Committee to do is exactly why they were formed. So it's not like it's out of the realm of normalcy to be asking them to do that. And I would encourage the committee to get everybody together at their very earliest opportunity and get this done.
And of course, it's not out of the realm, and I know it was to examine the community and what we needed. I don't know if it was about passing resolutions, but certainly I think that's what it should formulate from the Heart Committee is, what do we do for the next in November of 2021, and in between that, are there areas that need to be addressed in our community? And I think that's where we had hoped that the Heart Committee would, with its diversity and broad-based, to kind of examine, have the hard asks and questions of our community and where we need to focus. Councilmember Mason.
Yeah, so in reviewing the meeting from last year, we never got that charge, but that was supposed to be one of the charges, was to create the resolution to stand in solidarity with the Black community. And also in regards to this particular resolution, the reason I guess push a little bit more is just because staff created a resolution to their their credit, and they've already come out with a statement. And so I think it would behoove us to create our own statement and work with the Heart Committee, which is a really nice, diverse group of members of our community. I think it gives us an opportunity to work together, to listen to we have a youth member that's on that committee. We have faith-based people in the community. We've got the schools on that committee. I would actually love to hear how they feel about what's happening right now in the community as far as the increase in hate crime against Asian Americans, and how can we really place that in words in a resolution that truly is from the community. So to staff's credit, they've already created a statement, which I thought was great, but I do think it would be really nice to have the Heart Committee work on this with the community.
Okay. Yeah, and the staff did a statement, not a resolution, but that's fine with me. May I proffer this, is that if the group cannot get together and all of a sudden date selection is being challenged and now we're into May, that then we have a resolution that council can take action, because we just don't know schedules. But is everybody okay with that? Trying to have our committee see if they can get together, and if they can within a reasonable time, then and they think the timeline they can do to address that and facilitate would be helpful. And if we have to move, when I don't say move in a negative way, but do that sooner due to conflict, then we scheduling, then we bring it back. Is that okay? I see a yes. Mr. Salazar, yes. Mr. Medina?
Yeah, I'm thinking we're kind of verging away from council comments. I am in support of the concept. I was kind of long. I pretty much thought that was the whole purpose of the Heart Committee, was to kind of do that piece too, and work on many other pieces. Council comments, we're providing direction now. I don't know if that's what we're supposed to be doing, but
well, it's on the agenda, it's on the agenda so we can.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. Okay, so you're good.
I'm
though?
in support of it.
Okay, so Mr.
Mayor
Salazar,
Medina, I would recommend a roll call vote for this to clarify.
I don't know that we need a roll call vote. I have a 5-0 in concurrence as a unified team that it will go to the Heart Committee with the understanding if it's scheduling conflict and if we're going to be late May or something like that, then we'll do a resolution. Do I have anyone that disagrees with what I just said?
No, I support that, and I think that if we don't agendize a vote, then we shouldn't be taking a vote. And so I think broad direction like this is adequate for the discussion. And thank you for supporting our interest in reactivating the committee.
This is what it's supposed to be about. This is why it was created. And I agree with Councilmember Mason that it is a great group. And like I said, when you folks allowed me the opportunity to go out and talk to these folks and interview them and allowed me to do that, I'm so happy to hear from Councilmember Mason and Salazar that it's a good group of folks that really represent our community well. For another comment, I did want to just point out that this week is National Public Safety Telecommunication Week, April 11th through the 17th, which a lot of us think about as 911 and our dispatchers. So I just wanted to acknowledge that it is this week because something that I found, and it's not very long. It says 911 dispatchers are unsung heroes of public safety. They sit in a darkened room looking at computers and talking to voices from faces they never see. They are expected to gather information from highly educated people who can't remember where they live, what their name is, or tell them what is going on, and then calmly provide all the information to responding units without error the first time and every time. They care about people, and they enjoy being the lifeline of society, the steady voice in the storm, the one who knows how to handle every emergency situation and does it with grace and style. As a 911 dispatcher, their training, experience, compassion, and composure are in preparation for the call. And they all know that it is not a question of if they will get the call. It is a question of when. And so I just want to acknowledge all the dispatchers, but I also want to acknowledge our police department and our dispatch team and all those folks that answer the phones and deal with those. And so I wanted that certainly to be acknowledged, and I would safely say I'm sure all the council would be in concurrence that we want to thank them. And if you can think back to some of the times that they've had from YouTube or the mall or the pipeline, be on that duty and on that shift and what they did. They are multitaskers with 5 screens before them, and they are the first person that you hear when you're hitting 911. So I wanted that to be acknowledged. I'll come back as we adjourn at the end of the meeting. And Mr. Salazar, your mic is on. Did you have nothing for council comments at this time? Mr. Hamilton. Vice Mayor Medina.
Yes, I'm Mayor Medina. The San Bruno baseball community suffered a heartbreaking loss this weekend. Darnell Earl, longtime Pee Wee manager of Artichoke Joe's baseball team, better known as the AJs, unexpectedly passed away. I offer my sincerest gratitude for Coach Darnell's years of dedication to the numerous AJs baseball teams. I was fortunate this year to assist Coach Darnell and his fabulous staff. I offer condolences to his family and our baseball community.
Thank you for that. Thank you for bringing that up, and thank you for those comments. And our condolences go out to the family and his team. Vice Mayor, was there anything else that you had this evening?
That was it. Thank you.
Thank you. Finally, seeing nothing else from my colleagues, I think all of you may be aware that Gene Mullen had passed away. And if you haven't met him, I'll tell you, he's one of the nicest men. He lived in South San Francisco. Gene Mullen, who served for many years in the state assembly representing San Mateo County, and held various other leadership positions as a mayor, city council member, and teacher. He passed away at age 83 on Monday, April 5th of this year, after a 3-year battle with cancer. His wife, Terry, of 51 years of marriage, passed away in 2017 on the same day as April 5th. So Mullen represented the 19th district in the state assembly from 02 to 08, which followed a 7-year stint on the city council of South San Francisco, where he twice served as mayor. A lifelong Bay Area resident, Mullen graduated from the University of San Francisco, settled into South San Francisco in 1967 when he began teaching at the South San Francisco High School for the next 32 years. He taught government and coached basketball, winning several public education awards that included the San Mateo County's Teacher of the Year and the California Teachers Association State Teacher of the Year. And so, in 1972, Mullen has served in many capacities in the city of South San Francisco, and he has served us as well. And he leaves his son, Kevin, and daughter, Jennifer. And our condolences are to their families. I have a card here that he sent to me in late November. He is a very kind man that I will miss seeing at the South San Francisco Conference Center annual corned beef and cabbage, and his kindness that he does do with cards like this are just the type of person and man he is and will be remembered for. So with that, I would ask that we adjourn in this evening in memory and in honor of Gene Mullen for his service. May he rest in peace, and may our hearts and prayers go through his family. With that, we will adjourn this meeting to the next regular city council meeting, which will be held on April 27, 2021 at 7 p.m. via Zoom. I wish all of you a very good evening, and enjoy the rest of your week. Please be healthy, please stay strong, and please be safe. Everyone, have a good night.